Hey everyone, how are you doing? I hope you're having a nice evening. I am I'm cold. Am I the only one who's considering putting on their heating? You know, September is meant to be like the end of summer as far as I'm concerned, but I don't know what it's like with you, but it has been blowing an absolute gale all day today. I mean, I'm looking out and the trees are blowing backwards and forwards. It's absolutely crazy. So I've got a big jumper on tonight, trying to cozy up, but I suspect the heating will be going on because I don't like being cold. Um, I've got two things to show you tonight. So first of all, we're going to show you the new designer series paper. So you remember in September they've got some brand Stampin' Up have brought out 5 brand new designer series papers. Hey Julie. Um, so I'm going to open those up and show that those arrived, and they are gorgeous. I'm really excited. And then I'm going to show you a Christmas card that I've made recently. So I do swaps where you basically design a card and you send it on to whoever's organising the swap. You make 6 of them and then you get back 6 different ones. So this was the one which I made for the swap, and I am going to show you tonight how I made it. Hey Shona. Let me start off though by showing you off this DSP because it's really, really pretty. So let's flick round to this. There's 5 different packs. I'm gonna start off with the non-Christmas ones. This one's called Delightful Floral, and it coordinates with the translucent floral stamps and dies out of the Autumn Winter catalogue. Let me flick this over. Hey mum. Have a look at this paper. So it's a floral one, it's not a Christmassy one, but it is really pretty. Let's see what the colours are. Berry Burst, Blackberry Bliss, Bubble Bath, Calypso Coral, Fresh Freesia, Lemon Lolly, Parakeet Party, Pool Party, and Pretty Peacock. So you've got these flowers on one side, and then on the other side, oh, it's like a watercolour wash type. These are always really pretty for backgrounds. So that's what we're at so far. More of these lovely translucent leaves. I always think they remind me of like stained glass or painted glass. Another watercolour wash one here. These are pretty. These lovely little pretty flowers. Do you see them? And on the other side, it's another one of those watercoloured washes. More of the translucent flowers. I can just imagine, cutting round these and having that as a like your focal point on a card, or even just cutting a card base of that and putting your sentiment on. Hey Heather, glad you're here. More watercolor wash on the back. That's clearly Highland Heather, or is it Fresh Freesia? What do we think? Well, Highland Heather isn't listed, so it is probably Fresh Freesia. See, I love just like little tinges of yellow at the edges of those leaves. I think they're really pretty. Now you see, I'd have said that was it soft sea foam? We haven't got soft sea foam. What colour do you think that is? See, I'd have said it was a greeny shade or a bluey shade. Unclear. See, that's pretty as well, and I like the diagonals on that. Fresh Freesia, yeah, I think you're probably right, Mum. That one's Parakeet Party. You can tell it's quite a vibrant green, vibrant green. Okay, so that's the first pack there, Delightful Floral. Then I'm going to move into one of the specialty papers. So this one is called you see, this is interesting. It's called Tartan Foil, but I thought on the website it was called Plaid. But no, they're definitely calling it tartan. So there are 6 sheets in this pack. Oh, they are double-sided. I wasn't sure if they were. And they are 3 colours: Copper Clay, Lost Lagoon, and Pebbled Path. So they're very glossy. Do you see the shine on that? They're beautiful. So you've got like this tartan effect on one side, and then on the other, again, very glossy, and you've got the copper, the Lost Lagoon, and then the Pebbled Path, the kind of grey. So they're very pretty as well. You can see me doing interesting things with those. Next, we're into the Christmas papers. So these ones are called Traditions of Saint Nick, 12 by 12. Hey Linda, oh, I'm sorry you can't see me. Hopefully your internet will start to behave a bit and you may be able to watch the replay. Because goodness, if you could hear me and not see me, what horror that would be. Okay, so the colours we've got here: Cajun Craze, Cherry Cobbler, Copper Clay, Early Espresso, Mossy Meadow, Pebbled Path, Real Red and Wild Wheat. So this is your kind of traditional Saint Nick style. Oh, and you see that? I mean, that just reminds me of like a really luxurious red wallpaper. You know, you almost think that should be velvet. It's not, but it's nice paper. Ah, now this is quite cute. So the little gingerbread men. Can you see all these little symbols? Gingerbread men, little stars, and a thing of, do we think that's mulled wine or hot chocolate? That looks like a cinnamon stick and a piece of orange. So I think it's probably mulled wine. And then again, that's your almost wallpaper type designs. This is quite interesting, like an old-fashioned post boxes. But different designs of post box. Some of them on legs, some of them your more traditional, more wallpaper. I don't know why I keep thinking that this is wallpaper. It just has that wallpaper look about it to me. Again, your more kind of traditional scene, the fireplace, rocking horse and the wreath. More, let's call them patterns rather than just wallpaper. Although I'm definitely getting wallpaper vibes. This is pretty. The holly leaves in the red and the green. Let me again just remind which colours those probably are. I'm going to say Cherry Cobbler and Mossy Meadow, or possibly Real Red and Mossy Meadow. I have just knocked my bin off the table, which means all my dimensional backs are all over the floor. That back is nice ferny, so that's quite nice as well. Now this is really cute. I think this is my favourite sheet out of the whole pack. These tiny little stockings. They look really, really cute. I can see a strip of this working well on the card. Oh, a picture's finally appeared, Linda. Well done for sticking it out. All right, so that is that particular pack of paper. So the Traditions of Saint Nick. Very traditional colours, very traditional images. I suppose the name is the clue, isn't it? Traditions of Saint Nick. The next one is another Christmas pack. This is the Shining Christmas Specialty paper. And the colours here are Cherry Cobbler and Mossy Meadow. And I think this is going to be my favourite pack so far. Yes, Ali, I see where you're coming from. Look at this. It's shiny and glittery. It's like red foil on here, the red foil stars on top of these little Christmas trees. These are really cute. And then on the other side, you've got the Cherry Cobbler, kind of, it's almost like fur there, but in red. So we've got that. These, honestly, I think this is my favourite pack. I actually bought 2 packets of it because I thought it'd be really useful. The presents there again, the Mossy Meadow with the gold, with the red foil. You love it as well, Ali. I'm not surprised. I like the other side, but the non-foil side is never going to be as much fun as the foil side. Oh, look at that. It's gorgeous. Gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. Love it. And then the other side with the lights. I love both sides, but the foil sides are definitely a wow. I mean, you could just have a strip of that, or actually even cutting it out with some of your punches or your dies. Easy cards. We like easy cards. There we go. These are more bauble shapes on the other side. And then the holly leaves with the berries. These are your traditional fancy specialty Christmas papers. The gold with the red foil and the green leaves. Nice spots on the other side. I agree, Julie. It's just a lovely pack. Ah, and then the candy canes to finish. I'm going to hold it right close to the camera because they are quite small to see from a distance. But you've got these little candy canes with the hearts on them. And again, it's like the foiled effect. Really pretty. And then just like kisses on the other side. I have to say, this, out of all the packs I've shown you so far, this one's my favourite. But there's still one more pack to show you. And I did leave the best till last. Let me just put this away. Put it back in the pack so I don't accidentally damage it. The final pack, which again is specialty paper. This is the silver and gold adhesive backed glimmer paper. So, what does that mean? Well, look at this. So you get 2 sheets in a pack. You get one of silver and one of gold. They're 12 by 12. They are so sparkly. And it's also not the sort of gold that rubs off. I mean, it's not rough. I mean, it's certainly smooth when you run your hand over it. I wonder if I can even like show you on the side so you can see. But it's also, it's not printed on. I mean, it's definitely like glitter that's embedded into it. And it's got the adhesive. Yeah, I'm not going to peel it all off, but it's got the adhesive sheet on the other side. So you can die cut that, punch it out, cut layers with it and stick it straight on your projects. It is fabulous. Fabulous. And I confess I may have bought more than one pack of this as well, because that's going to get used a lot this Christmas. These specialty designer series papers, they're in the online exclusives. They are only while stocks last. So do not hang back. If you want it, just go for it. Grab it and get it before it is gone. Right. Now I'm going to make a Christmas card with you. So this was a card that I made as part of a swap. And I've got some of the bits pre-cut already, just because I was making them in bulk and I thought I'll keep going. So what I'm going to start off with is my card blank. So this is basic grey, and this is half a sheet of A4 that is scored to create a 10-fold card blank. Okay, so that's what you're going to start off with if you're making this card. Basic grey card blank. Next, I have the layers that are going on top of it, and I have a basic black layer and a smoky slate layer. And the basic black layer is 8.5 by 13, and then the smoky slate is 8 by 12.5. And they are going to layer up on top of each other and stick in the centre of this card. But before I stick them down, I'm going to stamp. And the stamp set that I'm using is this one here, Night Divine. And I'm using this particular stamp. The stars are brightly shining. 1, because I think it's a really nice sentiment. And 2, because it's the only one out of the set that fits into the space that I will have by the time I've done the other thing. So I am going old school and using my Stamparatus. Not my Stamparatus, my Stamp-A-Majig. Even older school than the Stamparatus, which I still have and I still love. In fact, it's on the desk beside me. But sometimes the Stamp-A-Majig is just quick and easy and does what I need it to do. Sadly, we don't sell the Stamp-A-Majig anymore, but if you've got one, I'm sure you find it as essential as I do. It's a great stamp positioning tool. And I'm just using Memento black ink for my sentiment. There we go. Right. The other thing about Stamparatus, I need to fill that up, is that it's really easy to clean. Just rub it on your Stamp and Scrub. So I think there would be riots if they retired the Stamp and Scrub. Use it every time I stamp. Right, there we go. So I have this, which I'm going to stick down. Here we go. I'll stick this down onto my basic black layer. Even just a little edge around the side. Yeah, no, it's a shame, Ali. We really enjoyed them when we had them. I did have a couple that I found that I stuck on eBay recently. I don't know if they've all sold, but if you want to look on my eBay shop, just go into eBay and search Craft with Emma, because I know I had at least one, maybe even two, but I don't know if they sold. Tom's the one who's been doing all my eBaying, so I can't say for sure. Right, so I'm just checking. It would be annoying if I had stuck that down the wrong way, but no. So far, so good. We've got our card blank, we've got our sentiment, and we've got our layer. Right, next up, I am going to get a piece of basic black, and the die that I want to use for this one is not that one. Where's the dies? I did have these all laid out before I got started, but then I tried to tidy up, which is always fatal. I should know better than to try and tidy. Here we are. Oh no! Right, I am using one of the deckled circles. Can you guess which one I'm using? Oh dear. This is what comes of trying to tidy up, Emma. You would think I had learnt my lesson after all these years. Right, do you know what? Trust me, this is going to work. We're going to do the bit before the die cutting, and by the time I finish all the die cuts, all the cutting, the die will have miraculously materialized, she says optimistically. What I'm going to do is I'm going to use my trimmer and I'm going to cut 1/2 centimetre strips. So it's fine to use offcuts for these. But I'm going to start, I'm using multiple colours here. You can use any colours you choose. These are the colours I'm choosing. So I'm starting with Night of Navy. Then I'm using Azure Afternoon. This is another one of these cards that's really easy to do in bulk. Okay, so it'll make more sense once you see what I'm doing. You're just going to have to trust me for just now. So I'm doing 2 of each. Next, I've got Balmy Blue. Have I got anything magnetic on the table? That's a very good shout, Mum. I have just picked up my Stamparatus with all the magnets on it. There's a very good chance it's under that. I will check in a minute once I've done these cuts. As well as the card, I'm also going to use this. So this is the gold, the gold distressed paper that we've got. It's really pretty. And I'm only going to cut one of these because I'm going to cut it in, I'm just going to tear it actually, kind of in half. Not quite in half, but it's not going to matter. So I want to use some of that beautiful gold paper. Then I'm going to use crumb cake. Going to use pecan pie. As I'm doing this, I'm realising I might need to change my trimmer blade. I need 2 pecan pies. Starting to get just a little bit raggy. And then I want 2 of my early espresso. So again, this is the sort of card that making it in bulk is really going to be worth it, because you just cut all your strips and then you stick them all down. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to stick them down. Yeah, I'm going to stick them down this way, and I'm going to start with my early espresso. Now, if you were being really organised, and if you were doing these in bulk, this is what I would recommend. Put adhesive sheets on the back of your cardstock before you cut them into strips. I am not super organised, and so I'm just going to use Tombow. Sparing with your Tombow. And I'm going to stick it, it's not going right at the bottom of the card. It's only going about there, and I do want it to be straight though. So use your grid paper to help line it up. Again, the joy of Tombow. It's very forgiving if you need to move it around. So I'm going to do 2 strips. Just cut off these little excess bits at the end. And when I stick the next strip down, I'm not doing it completely next to it. I'm leaving a small gap. There we go. So do you see there? There's like a little gap in between, maybe about half the width of the strip itself. And you're going to do that for all of your strips. So leaving about the same gap between all of them. I'm tearing off the edges because there's no point in doing glue all the way to the edges of something that's not going to get stuck down, and the edges aren't going to be seen. So if I'd done it the other way, I wouldn't have had to trim off the excess. You're right, but it also wouldn't have worked for a reason which will make more sense later on. So just going to trust me. So I've done my darkest brown, my early espresso. Then I've done my mid brown, which is my pecan pie. Then I'm going to do my crumb cake. I am only doing 1 of crumb cake. But why, Emma? You did 2 of the other ones. That's true, but for the size I want this to be, I'm only going to have room for 1. When you come to do this, and as I say, it'll make more sense once I get to the end bit, you can do whatever strips you want. Ooh, that one's maybe slightly too small. That might be a problem. Oh well. You can do whatever width of strips you want. So as I say, I did 1/2 centimetre. If you want to do 1/4 inch or full centimetre strips, or experiment with different widths, because I think different widths will give different effects. But you'll find your own way of doing things. You see that one's small as well. Yeah. And for some reason, the paper has been more frayed than the cardstock has. I should have put a new blade in. All I'm going to do is just use my scissors to kind of get rid of those tiny little bits. There we go. It's all right. Next, I'm going to my Balmy Blue. I feel like saying, can you tell what it is yet? No cheating, Mum, because I know you've seen the finished card already. I did send Mum a photo of it last night, the other night. Let's see, so back to my doubles again. So I did 2 of the Distress Gold, doing 2 of the Balmy Blue. What have we got here? Azure Afternoon. I do fancy doing another one of these, but doing it like reds and pinks, I think would look nice. greens and silvers. Do any colour combination you want. But for this particular card, and again, it'll make sense at the end, I wanted to use these particular colours. I don't know if Flora Gunn is watching tonight. If you are, congratulations on winning the prize draw. I hope you enjoy the ink pad, which will be winging its way to you very shortly. As in, it'll go in the post tomorrow. And then it'll take however long it gets. There we go. Beauty of Tombow is if it does splurge out the side like it's done there, it's fine. You just wipe off the excess and it's all fine. Last strip. Aren't you glad we're on the last strip? Although, how many have I done there? 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 11, 12, 13. 13 strips. Not that we're superstitious. Lucky 13. There we go. So, once you have got all of your strips, as if by magic, the missing die is just going to jump out at me, she says, hopefully and optimistically. Not even slightly realistically. Do you know what? It's not going to matter. It's not going to matter. But I'm going to show you how I did it anyway. Just going to double check under there just for hopeful optimism. It's not. Okay, so what I would do is I would take the deckled circle that's slightly larger than this one, so the next one up, and run this through the big shot to cut out. You can see here's the one that I did earlier, and you will cut out a shape that looks like this. Okay, so, and that's why I was doing it this way, and actually I think I will probably fit, if I consider that circle, so I'll get one there, I will get 2 side by side, but if I'd done it this way, I wouldn't have got 3. Do you see? It's slightly too short to get 3, but I can get 2 this way, and then I can get another 2 that way. So once you've done all your strips, use the die, run it through your cut and emboss, and cut out your circle, and you get this. Okay, so what I'm going to do is stick this onto the top, just using Tombow, of my card blank. There we go. Now, the next thing I'm going to use is, so it was the Night Divine stamp that I used before, and I'm using the Night Divine dies, which are these like nativity scene dies, and I'm using this one here. So this is the obviously the Mary and Joseph with the manger and the baby, the wise man at one side and the shepherd at the other. And what I've got here is some basic black cardstock with adhesive sheets on the back, and running it through my Big Shot, crank, 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 crank. I'm going to do it just in basic black. So you can see I've done the adhesive sheets on the side. When you've got a die that's got like these little intricate bits on here, the adhesive sheets really, really make your life much easier. So let's peel that off. And it's going to stick onto the front. And now you'll maybe understand why I went for the colours that I did, because I wanted it to look almost like straw and land at the bottom, almost like a dark sky up at the top, and then just that bit of gold coming through the centre there. To finish it off, I am using this starry die. So there is a bundle called the Stars at Night bundle, and there's the Stars at Night dies. I'm using this star. And again, I'm taking my distressed gold paper, but this time I'm putting some foam sheets on the back. So you remember our foam sheets that are like dimensionals. Hey Kaz! One of my friends, Kaz, has joined us tonight. She's one of the amazing demonstrators who joined me in Las Vegas, and we went to the Grand Canyon together. So everybody say hi to Kaz. Just to finish off this card though, because I'm not finished yet, last touches. Distressed gold paper, foam sheets on the back, run that through your cut and emboss, and you get this lovely 3D version of the star, which I'm going to peel off. Again, the adhesive sheets makes this so easy, and pop that on the top of the card there. And I'm still not finished. Last touch. These are our adhesive backed star trinkets, which I'm going to pick up one of the small ones and just pop that on top of my gold star, just to make it extra 3D and special and fancy. Look at that. You see the star on top of the star at the top? I suppose it's an extra over the top little feature, but I thought it was nice. And there you go. That is the finished card. What do you think? Do you like the technique with the stripes, with the strips? Is that something that you think you'll try yourself? As I say, it's really easy to do. It's easy to do them in bulk. So literally all you do, stick on all your strips, cut out all your circles, and then by using the dies in black to get that silhouette effect, it works really well with this particular die, but it works well with loads of our dies. So this was part of the swap that I did for the Stampin' Superstars. So if you're taking part in that swap, you might get one of these in the post once they get sent out. I hope you enjoy it. If you do try it yourself, then please do share in the comments if you do make one of these cards yourself. I'd love to see them. You know, I love to see everybody else's crafting. Oh, hey Andrea, I didn't know you were here. Hey Karen, I'm seeing, all of a sudden I'm seeing all the comments from people I should have said hi to. So, but it's been lovely crafting with you this evening. I am glad that you liked the card. I hope you liked the paper that I showed off at the start of the video as well. And I hope you enjoy the rest of your evening. Let's just flick back and say bye properly. So thank you very much for joining me tonight. I will be back next Wednesday with some more crafting, and have a great week. Take care everyone. Bye.